the orientation. Got to change the way things look every once in a while, because how else can we show up to life unless we change things up every once in a while, right? So how are you doing today? Let's do this one. Life is full of surprises. Remember, you are the author of your life. Remember, you have total control over everything you think, you speak, you do. It's all about you choosing you. So what's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. My name is Lana. I am here to support, uplift, inspire, and empower you through me being me, leading by example, showing you that what I share is what I have learned from my personal experience, because we only know from where we're at. What we see around us is a reflection. It's showing up to us. We magnetize and draw to us where we're at. So everything in my life has demonstrated, oh, look at that. This is where I need to do my work. This is where I may be lacking, because when I lack in myself, it shows up all around me in my life. And I want to live the most authentic, aligned life in the flow of my soul. Meaning I want to trust the inner wisdom and guidance that shows up to me in every moment. That I am supported and loved by God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it. Because it's all personal, and whatever it is you relate to, because life is about relationships. And what we relate to is what aligns to us, aligns with our BS, our belief systems. It's beautiful, actually, because we should be always, ever evolving, growing, acknowledging where we've been, evaluating, reflecting, to recognize where we are, how far we've come, and maybe how far we plan to go. Not to get too caught up in the past, but to use it as our ammo, our motivation, our inspiration, that look at how far I've come, look at what I've learned so far. That truly aligning and staying true to us means acknowledging where we've fallen off our own wagons. We've actually shortchanged ourselves. We've maybe done things for others. Maybe we've given more importance, significance to another. Literally fed people our energy and wondered why we've been so depleted. Given so much more importance upon another person takes away from ourselves. Is that selfishness? Is that selflessness? I don't think so. I think what it is acknowledging the disparity in your life. Because when we're depleted, we're not filling our own cup, we're not recharging our own battery, but we're giving it out everywhere else and we're not allowing it to come back in. Or maybe we're giving it out because we don't feel deserving of it. We don't feel worthy of it. If we can acknowledge, wow, I actually thought someone else was more important to me, to where I wasn't even feeding myself. I was going hungry, energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally, and giving out everything that I had and not allowing myself to be replenished. So much of the culture that we've been conditioned in has been to give, 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 be the martyr, take care of everybody but ourselves. And the irony is if we're all supposed to be taking care of everybody else, at what point are we allowing ourselves to receive what others are giving out to those they claim to be helping outside of themselves? It's such a paradox. Think of everyone else but yourself. But who's going to think of you? Because we're conditioned to think that it's selfish to take care of ourselves, when you have to have a full cup to pour from, before you could ever give out. How efficient can you be for others if you're not efficient in showing up for yourself? If your battery is not charged, how are you going to recharge others? If you're giving all your energy away blindly, maybe naively, thinking that person deserves it more than me, what makes you think anybody's going to think you deserve to receive or to give to you what it is you've given away? You have to start with self. Everything starts with self. So in order for us to show up authentically in life, we have to authentically fill our own cups, be the author, be the authority, be the star of our own show, put ourselves first. And then everything else around us will magically fall into place. This isn't an intellectual, I get it, I think it, I know it. No, you have to actually embody this. You literally have to feel into where you felt depleted, where you feel into yourself that is something is void, devoid of your attention, your emotion, your feeling, your sensation. We have 5 senses, people. We are just like computers. And we take in information through those 5 senses, through our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouth, our taste and touch. Like everything you take in is providing input, data, to clue you in, because we are extra sensory beings. You are meant to be sensitive, not deny your sensitivity, not numb it out, because when you numb out your senses, now you've numbed out your ability to take in information and properly assess and calculate where you need to course correct. So in the Beyond Addiction program that I'm a part of, it's all about feeling into, recognizing that if you are numbing your pain, you're also numbing your joy. And if you numb any aspect of yourself, you want to deny the bad parts, you're also denying the good parts. If you deny what you don't want to feel, oh, that feels yucky, that feels icky. If you're unwilling to sit in that, you're not going to be able to appreciate and feel fully the richness of the beauty and the purity and the joy that you claim to wish to experience. What it is you desire has to be equally in balance with the things that maybe weren't so great. Because without knowing the pain, you're not going to know the joy. That in order to experience joy, you have to have felt the pain. Because life is contrast. Life is about balance. It's about wholeness. One actually affords the other to exist. And you can't go without one without the other. But when you come back into your balance and you acknowledge them both, you become neutral and whole. You'll notice that your pain showed you your pleasure, and your pleasure showed you your pain. And that together, they're one and the same. It's the constructs of man-made words, time, this imprisonment system of thinking you don't deserve or you do deserve, or force versus power. Force is manipulative. It's creating something that is inauthentic. Trying to force something is not going to give you power. Power is something that's innately within you. And you have the power always. It's whether or not you acknowledge it. You tune into it, you tap into it. And through those 5 senses, you find the wisdom in it that affords you the awareness of your power. Because it's those 5 senses that heighten your intuition. And so the more you tap into your 5 senses, the more you heighten your intuition, the more you're able to look around you and recognize how you attract where you're at. Because when you're tuned in, you're tapped in, you recognize all that's going on around you is a reflection of within you. It's not just an intellectual or conceptual experience. It literally is an experience that you have to be part of. You have to engage in life, because life is about you participating in it, not just sitting back and observing it. That's part of it. You need to be the witness, but you also have to be the participant. And we go back to you're the author of your life, the authority over it. And authenticity is you being true to you and aligning with all you do, your integrity. Alignment in your physical body translates to alignment in the mind. When you're good in your mind, you'll feel good in your body, and you'll be able to feel good in life. Often, if you've watched my previous videos, I speak about when you master the breath, you slow down, you become present to the mind so that you can master your mind. You're an acknowledgement of your conditions, your programs, your beliefs. And when you're in awareness of that, you can course correct, you can confront, you can reflect, you can release. It will reveal to you what is working, what isn't working, what no longer serves, and what is continuing to serve, how it's applied to your life. And so when you come into that awareness of your mind, you can master it, and then you can master your life, because everything else around you is a reflection of what's within you. I can't state that enough, because even in my life, some of the epiphanies that I've had over the years, the acknowledgement of, wow, I gave some people some serious power. I literally made them more important in my life than I made myself. And in that awareness, it allowed me to reclaim and call back my energy. That's extremely empowering. When you acknowledge that, then you can reclaim it. When you reflect upon where maybe you were unaware at the time, but now you're in awareness, that's where you realign. That's how you stay true to you. It's always coming back to what's important to you. What is it that you feel? What is coming up? What is the message in this emotion, the energy in motion that is rippling through your body? Because when you're feeling something in your body is essentially just the tattletale on the mind. A belief system that no longer serves will show up in the body as a discomfort, because you're dissing your truth. The belief in the mind that you keep holding on to translates into the body as a physical pain or an emotion in the mind, because it knows through kinesiology, the truth indicator is your body. Your body's always going to tell you when there's a misalignment in the mind. So that pain, that discomfort, whatever it is you feel in your body, all it is the truth indicator. Is telling you there's a lie going on in the mind. And I've learned that from my own experience and through my own healing over the years. That especially recently, that the more I've been working on my skeletal structure and going to the neuromuscular therapist, that the more I've been aligning my body, it's aligning to my mind. And I'm excited. I'm like a little kid again. I feel like I literally came back to life recently. And to the point where I will think something and it's right there, it's manifesting. I'll share more in the future. But it is so exciting when you realign with your truth, as opposed to denying it and trying to lie your way through your own stuff. When you call out your own bullshit, you really get clear on what it is you've been doing that's been holding you back, that's been keeping you stuck. Whew. Boy, is that liberating. It literally will lighten you up. Your body will feel so much freer, so much more fluid. Like you will be able to move in such a way that you're going to be like, whoa, why didn't I notice this sooner? Now, it's not about getting stuck in the, oh, woe is me, why didn't I do this and why didn't I do that? We're not here to commiserate. We're not here to get stuck in the woulda, coulda, shouldas. What we are here for is acknowledging, allowing, and applying the wisdom that we come into when we recognize in ourselves that, wow, I didn't know until now. I didn't know until I knew. So over all these years, I have actually had to clear out some garbage, confront my own bullshit. And I do this a lot with the mirror, by the way. This is actually kind of a little comedy that I have with myself. I have a huge mirror right in front of my toilet. And I just laugh because we joke about how the toilet's the throne, right? I have some of my best wisdom and some of the best work that I do is sitting on the toilet, sitting on the throne. I think it's freaking hilarious. I think that's like a divine comedy, a joke, if you want to say. And until we can find the spark, the joy, the laughter, the comedy, the humor that life affords us, how can we have fun? Like, we're here to have fun. We're here to reinfuse our joy and with play, just like our inner child. Our inner child wants to play. And because we've made so serious in this life, like the idea that, oh, you know, we're not supposed to have fun, we're supposed to be adults, and we're supposed to be serious, and we're supposed to take life so real, and you're not in reality. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on all that. All this craziness that's going on in the world, step away from the bullshit. We're not here to be all stuck in the doom and gloom, although that has become a huge addiction in our world. And if you choose to participate in the doom and the gloom, then you're probably not as happy. And if you tap into your body's wisdom, it's going to tell you what aligns and what doesn't. So doom and gloom is a low vibration. It keeps you in anger. It keeps you stuck in resentment, frustration. It's holding you back from living your authentic life. The only way to align to your authenticity is to acknowledge what is actually yours to take on. Are you shouldering the responsibilities of other people? Are you taking on the woes of the world? Watching television, watching media, do you know that's only there to entertain you, to entertain you, to keep you trapped in a low vibration? Because it's easier to manipulate you through giving you just the negative stuff that's going on around the world. I remember years ago thinking, I mean, this is a long time ago when I would watch TV, I'm like, what point did they actually say anything that serves to uplift, to inspire you? Once in a blue moon, you hear a good story, but even then, they need you. They need you to be sucked into it. So it's like a parasite. They feed off of you. They feed off of your energy. By causing you to stay stuck in the doom and gloom, it's perpetuating more of it. The more you, oh, that poor this, oh, that poor person, oh, this, that, and the other, that we don't know the truth. We're only given a story. And if you choose to participate and buy into all these stories, you're taking away from your own. And like I just said earlier, that the more you give importance outside of yourself, you're draining your own life force, your own battery. And those people, those situations, those significant people outside of you are actually benefiting from you being low in your vibration by they get to receive your good vibration. That's where we go back to, how do you stay true to you? It's about tuning into your life force and discerning where your energy is meant to go and flow, to align with your soul's purpose, to allow it to guide you, as opposed to blindly and naively giving it away in places that you get hijacked that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Stop wasting your energy. Stop wasting your time. It's not your place to be out there. Your place is to be right here in the now. None of that exists in your sphere. So when you tune into things that are on a boob tube or in social media, and it takes and sucks out your joy, your passion, that's taking you off your path. That's taking you out of your joy and what you're meant to be here to do. How are you going to be more effective for others if your energy is focused on something outside of yourself that has nothing to do with you? giving more significance, more importance to those people that don't even know you most of the times. Doesn't take anything away from them, takes it all away from you. So how do you stay true to you? At what point do you recognize your importance in this world? What it is you came here to serve? We all have a gift. We are all here meant to uplift and elevate one another, not to be sucked down into the depths of despair and the worries and the crimes of humanity. I mean, come on, people. You want to see the change in the world? You got to be the change in the world. Easy quote by Gandhi. Be the change you want to see in the world. If you focus on the doom and gloom, you're just going to attract more doom and gloom into your life. Haven't you noticed when you wake up in the morning and you start out on the wrong foot and you're like, oh, everything's so negative? Because once you find it, you keep finding it. Until you become get aligned in the awareness of your own mind and you recognize where it all started, that's where you shift it. When you become aware of your unconscious beliefs and how they're running the show, then you can also course correct and realign to your path, to your purpose. Because just as equally as you can find something wrong, you can find something right. That's the duality and the polarities of this life, is you finding the path that serves best. So I spent yesterday doing a lot of deep reflection and allowing myself to really confront some really deep wounds that I was like, wow, I hadn't realized how much power I had been given to people, how much more significance I allowed people to have outside of myself. So I had to call out that bullshit in myself. And one of the ways that I do that sometimes is I actually have a dialogue. I will speak out loud in my own home with people that, even though I was the one, I take responsibility for allowing certain people to be a part of my life and to participate with those individuals and give them that energy, that at the same time I call them out, I acknowledge my role in that. So that maybe I allowed people to, let's just say, dump their negative bullshit or their energy on my being, my home, my land, my place. But I also call it out in such a way that in order for people to clear their karma, to clear their life pains, traumas, they also have to make those right in their lives. But I call it out to clear it for myself, acknowledging how I allowed it and I participated in it myself. So sometimes that's what happens in our lives, is we allow people to dump their shit on us energetically. We don't realize it at the time, but the moment you acknowledge it, the moment you call it out, you clear it out too. What is revealed, unveiled, can also be released. But it's up to you to take the time and sit with it. It's not about pointing fingers out at someone and saying, you did this to me. It's, I'm upset with you because I allowed you to treat me this way. And I'm calling it out because I'm no longer allowing it. I'm calling it out because I see what I see and I know what I know. I'm also calling out my own self because I'm no longer going to support that type of energy, that my sphere, my bubble is no longer allowed for people who think it's okay to dump on me or expect from me without consciously asking, or maybe even reciprocating and supporting. Because I've noticed over the course of my life how much I give from an observatory space. And the reason that resentment builds up, and I have had to confront this in myself, is because we don't recognize until it's already past a certain point that, wow, you know, I've been supporting these people for so long, but they never show up to support me. And when I ask them to support me, they're nowhere to be found. or they only show up when they need something from me. Let me know in the comments, have you experienced this in your life where people show up expecting you to always be there for them, but they never actually give back, and they don't actually reciprocate what it is they expect from you to give back to you, to fill your cup back up after they've actually taken from it. And in some cases, maybe there's ignorance in the sense that maybe you just need to make them aware of how you feel. And in my case, sometimes it's a tough mama love kind of energy, like, hey, you know, I love you, but I don't feel appreciated. I notice that you only show up when you need something from me, and you don't actually check on me. You don't actually reach out and see how I'm doing. You know, many of you know I went through explant surgery. Not a lot of people showed up to help me. I'm just going to say that. In fact, more people were showing up expecting me to help them when I was still in recovery. And then I lost my dog, and people didn't even show up for that. Like, that was very telling for me. And over the course of my life, I'm like, wow, that's really fucked up. And it felt very hurtful. It felt painful, you know, knowing that I'm over here needing help. And even when I asked for it, I didn't get it. And I was like, wow, okay. People very revealing, very telling of themselves. And it's hurtful, especially for someone like myself who may come across to many people as strong. She's got it all together. She doesn't need any help. And I know over the course of my life, that has been apparently the energy that people take from me. They think that I've got it all together and that I've got it so together, I got plenty to help everybody else with. But it's very rare that I get, hey, Lana, do you need anything? Can I help you? It's been very rare over these years. And those people who do reach out to me and offer, those are the people I value the most and appreciate. And they know who they are, because they've seen me through some really hard situations. And I'm only sharing this because I know I'm not the only one who's been through this kind of thing. And this is the kind of thing that reinforces to me my circle of trust, my closest friends, my bubble, the reason why I'm so selective and I don't just let anybody into my life. Because not everybody deserves access to me. And I believe that that's how we all need to be aware. Like, I can show up to someone I don't even know and I feel more appreciation from someone I do know. And that's really sad. And so yesterday I was also reflecting that it was 4 years ago that I was faced with one of the most challenging life changes and experiences of my life. And that this time of year, I'm very much like, wow, okay, it's coming up on that time again. 4 years ago, my mom my sister called me up, and she had been in the hospital. She didn't know where she was for a day or two because she had cardiac arrest at the library in Omaha, Nebraska. And at that time, I was in a very narcissistic relationship, and the partner that I had was totally insensitive to me and my needs. It was all about competition and him trying to control me, and he was very irresponsible. Shows up at my house and doesn't even he didn't pay any rent. He didn't pay any of the bills. He didn't do anything. It was all on me. And I had to own that I allowed that. And at the time, I didn't realize what I had signed up for. What I thought I signed up for and what I actually ended up with were completely different. And that particular day when I learned my mother was in the hospital, that morning, FedEx had stopped at the house and served me a package, an envelope, that was actually was for him. It wasn't for me. And when he showed up at my house months prior, he wasn't paying his car note. He wasn't paying for his vehicle. And I said to him, you should really contact the loan agency and try to work something out. And I had given him money in anticipation that it would support him, but he used it elsewhere. He didn't use it where I thought he was going to. So that particular morning, as a result of me receiving this, he flipped out on me, acting like by my receiving it, that I had just given them notice that he was living here. And as if his irresponsibility was now mine, which was bullshit. And in that particular moment, he flipped out on me and told me, you need to bring that back, and I can't believe you did this. And at the same time, I'm thinking, you brought your irresponsible bullshit to me. This is not mine. And this is where we need to hold people accountable for the energy we allow them to bring into our spaces, into our homes. That my home is not a dumping ground for your irresponsibility and your inability to take and act as a human, as a good human. To try to play the victim of your own bullshit is bullshit. And me calling that out. So I went out that day and I brought that letter back to FedEx, and I said, I'm so sorry, I didn't even realize it was for me, and here it is. And I returned it to him. And then I had this, because this person was very emotionally unstable. Came home, went in my room and shut the door. I was doing some work on my computer. My sister calls me up and tells me my mom is in the hospital. And the first thing in my mind is, how can I pick up and support my mom? Am I going to drive my car? Am I going to jump on a plane? These were the things rotating in my mind because I'm a very quick to respond. I'm going to find a solution. And I called up my other sister and I was crying and I did a short little video about it. He overheard me and he came in and he wanted to act like the savior, like he had a purpose all of a sudden. He went from being an asshole to me about his bullshit to, we need to do this and we need to do that. And I already knew what I needed to do. But 4 years ago, losing my mom was the hardest thing I ever dealt with. And at the same time I was losing my mom, I had a fucking man-child I was dealing with who was throwing temper tantrums. Like, how the hell did I go through that? How the hell did I allow that? I had to own all of that and acknowledge what I allowed in my life. And I had to clean that mess up too. So this time of year becomes very, it's a reminder of how far I've come since then. How much I miss my mom. And the fact that I lost my dog recently, that yesterday I was actually sitting here. Honestly, I had a lot of anger for the men in my life that took advantage, that showed up in my life, that I allowed them to dump their shit energy on me, to give them more importance and significance and try to hold them in a way that I believe in healing the masculine. I believe in supporting the masculine as well as the feminine. I'm very much about balance. I'm not about one better than the other. But yesterday I sat here really pissed off, like, what the fuck is wrong with you assholes? You need to do right in your relationships. The people who have supported you, people who have held you in the higher regard, that you yourself can't even show up to support those people in return for all they've done for you. Like, I sat here calling that out for several people in my life, as well as the fact that I just sat here going, and all I want is my fucking dog back. I sat here crying like, if anything, I just want my fucking dog back. I miss my dog. Because my dog didn't give me that type of bullshit. Because he was my little angel. And he appreciated my time and my energy. And that's what animals do. They remind us about the unconditional nature of nature, to nurture, to love and be loved. And that we got a lot of humans running around with unmet childhood needs, acting them out with people. People wonder why relationships don't work out. If you're not communicating, how are you going to improve in that relationship? If you're not asking for what you need, and you're not also reflecting back and learning from and growing from your experiences, integrating, like some people jump from one relationship to the other and they can't understand why they have the same pattern. Codependency, people. When you finish one relationship, if you don't give yourself the time to reflect upon that last relationship, to acknowledge what worked, what didn't work, and to also celebrate the highs and the lows, to see the beauty that it afforded you to know more about you, because life is about relationship, and how you relate to another is how you relate to yourself. That it's through relationship we learn about ourselves. We need another to mirror ourselves back to us. We cannot experience ourselves without another. It's impossible. But codependency is jumping from one to the next, to the next, to the next, that you can't be alone by yourself, because unfortunately, you're afraid of being alone by yourself. You don't know how to be with yourself. But you know, the real healing happens when you get good with you. You do right by you. You align to your truth. Integrity is knowing you. The true divine union is with you. The other person who shows up to you is reflecting you. So when you get mad and you want to act like someone did something to you, all they're doing is showing you what you're doing to you. And that's what I called out on everything yesterday, in recognizing, okay, I see where I did that. I acknowledge where those people showed up to me and reflected back to me what I was falling short on, what I was not giving back to myself. And in acknowledging that, now I clear it. I revealed it to myself so that it can be released from me. So that the next experience, the next circumstance, the next life change isn't going to have that same experience. Now, of course, the universe may throw in a little, hey, we're going to just test you. Did you learn the lesson? Because it does that. That's just part of the divine comedy of life. It's a cosmic giggle, as I say. It's a little tickle. Hello. And that's the beauty. Is that without a high, you're not going to experience a low. Without the low, you're not going to know the high. Life is a roller coaster, and we go through cycles. And you have to celebrate all of them, because that's what makes you whole. You can't cherry pick, I just like this and I just like that. Oh, I don't like that. I don't push that away. Because it's all to serve the full experience. You want a rich experiential life, you have to accept it all and embrace it all as one. And I've spoken about this. So when you turn around and you are experiencing the deepest pain, it's like, whoa, I was so willing to go into love fully, to open my heart, that it also served up a pain as the gift of that willingness to be in full allowance of the joy. And then when we have that pain, it's just going to let you know that for that extreme pain, you're going to experience the next extreme high, the extreme joy, love, passion, whatever it will be. And that's the gift of this life more than anything. So happy 4th of July weekend. Celebrate you. If there's one thing I can impart through my own healing, my own journey, is if we don't celebrate us, nobody else is going to celebrate us. The way we do anything is the way we do everything. The way we do the small things in the dark, in the nobody sees you, that shows up outside of you too. You can't fake the funk. What you think you're hiding is actually more magnified outside of you that people cannot miss. Like your shit shows is like what I like to say. And it's a true story, because I can look back on experiences in my life where I didn't think, oh, I thought I was doing a really good job of being covert and whatever was going on within me. But I already know I don't hide things very well. And me being very expressive, very dramatic, being a lioness, a Leo, it's kind of comical to me, because in the experiences of my life where I'm like, I wanted to be an actress. And it makes sense because as I look through the course of my life, everything in my life has been a role. I've played a part. I wanted all these vast experiences in my life. And I've had them. And looking over the course of my life, I'm like, wow, I wanted all those different experiences. You know, everything from being in the Air Force to being in the Miss Maine teen pageant to actually being an actress and being a model and traveling the world and speaking Italian and living in Italy and abroad and all over the world. Back to being a little bit covert here in Clearwater, Florida. And now we're re-emerging, as I would say. That very much like my favorite butterfly, the monarch, when I was younger, I drew the metamorphosis. I've been in the chrysalis for a very long time. And now my wings are getting stronger and I'm ready to emerge. I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to soar. And that's where I'm at in my life. And this is the beauty, is in the clarity that we gain from the experiences we've had, the deep reflection that reveals to us our truth, that it allows us to align, that when we're aligned in the mind, the body will align, that the deeper we breathe, the richer our lives, the more we open our hearts and lungs, we reveal there's so much more to us than what's up in here. It's about embodiment. You gotta feel it in order to heal it. Because when you feel it to heal it, you reveal it to release it. And if you happen to be in the Clearwater area, on the 30th, I will be doing a body alignment workshop. It is, again, something I've done in the past. It's about feeling it to heal it, aligning with your body's wisdom and listening and learning the language of your body. What is the communication it's trying to get your attention for? On the 16th of July, I will be doing another rebirthing at Yoga Village, and the 30th of July, I will be doing a body awareness workshop. If that aligns with you, come join me. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. I think I've got some pretty good wisdom over the course of my life through my personal experience that I teach from. I've always been involved in fitness, always been a personal trainer of some nature, teaching aerobics, teaching kickboxing, Pilates, yoga, was a long distance marathon runner. I was a fitness assessment monitor in the Air Force, and then I got into yoga. Fitness and wellness has been my life. And I'm here to basically, like I said, I'm here to support, uplift, inspire, and empower you. So wherever you're at in your life, know that it's gonna get better as soon as you acknowledge where you've been and where you want to go. Sending you so much love. I hope this video resonates with you. Let me know in the comments where you're coming from, calling in, share your experiences down below. What has this time brought up for you? It's summertime. We're meant to shine like the sun. And as a Leo, I'm all about having fun. I want to see the world in more play. I want to see you in your childlike joy again. Because to me, life is supposed to be fun. I don't want to be all caught up in the serious. I think we get enough of that around in the world. When you're in your joy, that is contagious. Let that be your motivation. Let your joy expand. So much love. Have an amazing evening. I love you.